Hi there, my name is Belinda Doveston. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. Great to have you with us at the I Ching Cafe. Grab a coffee, grab your tea, and let's get into our weekly overview for the week commencing the 6th of July 2020, our first full week into the month of July. But first, let's have a little recap of what happened last week. We had the unexpected innocence, getting rid of complexity and entangling ourselves from emotional and mental difficulties with some potential unexpected trouble, guiding us to flowing with change and not staying stuck in the past. And of course, culminating in a continuation of the revolution hexagram of the last steps of change, of overthrowing the old and embracing the new. So this week, interesting, we have a hexagram called 31 influence. Now, this is the idea that we have a lake on the top, okay, the young girl, the expression of energy and communication, and underneath we have the mountain, and they are both the youngest children of the 8 members of the I Ching family, and there's a natural affinity between the lake resting on top of the mountain. And what this does is creates an energy of influence, of being influenced by a force, being drawn forward by something that attracts you forward. This is the dating hexagram. So last few weeks we had 53, which was the marriage hexagram, and I referred to this one as there's a dating hexagram, and this is this one. So maybe this is in your future for the week. But this hexagram is really about being drawn and attracted by an influence that is very exciting, okay? Hence the idea of dating in the early part of courtship of a relationship where we're still on this journey of discovery. So this hexagram this week is all about drawing our attention to something that is drawing us forward, that is getting us to move forward, that is exciting us to engage, and we are feeling compelled in a way. Think about the attraction in new relationships, like your brain goes to mush, right? There's all kinds of other things happening. But it's really, you feel so compelled and drawn into this relationship and into this experience. It's all encompassing and it just brings you into it. And this is the idea of what this week is about. We're being drawn forward by something that's pulling us on very deep levels. Now, the changing line for this week, there's only one changing line in the 6th position, talks about being influenced through the cheeks and the jaws. So as you go through the whole hexagram, all the changing lines, starting at the bottom one, where we have being influenced by the toes, and we have calves, and we have thighs and pelvis, and heart and neck, and then we finish off with cheeks and jawbones. Okay. This is not a strong position to be influenced by, and what it shows is influence taking over us and expressing itself through what we're saying. Okay, so if we had the influence happening through the neck, which is changing line in the 5th position, this is a strong point of the body. It's strong and it's central in a way to the pivoting of our head and our body. It's strong. Cheeks and jawbones is yakety yak, it's not strong. So part of what we're being called to this week is, if you feel drawn by something, is being conscious of not spewing it out of your mouth through the cheeks and the jawbone, right? It's not about talking and talking and talking and filling the void with enthusiastic inspiration about something, which is just words, okay? So it's being influenced and expressing that influence through yakety yak. Because what happens is we express this influence and we get all excited and we talk about it. And then we have to be prepared to eat our words, because as soon as the words peter out, there isn't substance behind what we're saying. So I would say that whether this is in your business life, where you are really excited about something, or you feel inspired by something new that's perhaps come across your desk, is just be conscious of how you speak about it. Okay. And my reference point as a writer is this idea that there are no hard and fast rules, but particularly like Stephen King talks about in his training, is that when you are writing a book, you don't talk about it until the book is finished. You contain the story, and you hold the story in your energy right up until you can write the end. Because what that does is it builds up your energy around the story, and it prevents someone else from popping the balloon, saying, well, that's a silly idea, or your character doesn't sound like he knows what he's doing. And so what you're doing is you're containing the creation process, and you're building it up until you are complete with it. The end, and then you can start to share about it. And for me, this is the story that comes up with this changing line of we're being influenced and we're being excited and inspired by something. We have to watch that we don't yak away, because it's almost like the influence is temporary. And if we make too much noise about this latest thing that we're so excited about, what we can run the risk of having to eat our words back, because we realize, oh, that wasn't going anywhere. So it's about, you know, when you get really excited, you want to tell everyone about something that you're involved in, but that thing might be temporary. And what happens is then when you realize it's temporary, I made such a fuss about it to everybody, now what I do. Just be careful of how we express the things that we are inspired and excited about that we are working on. Contain that energy, hold it in. If it's an influence that's set to last, it will reveal itself in time. But if we start yakking about it too soon, we can dissipate the creative process we are going through. And then the outcome of the week, the second transforming energy, is Hexagram 33, retreat, which is realizing that what you're facing is a problem or a challenge that you're not ready for, or that you don't want to deal with, or is negative. And instead of facing the battle and facing the opponent until you've destroyed your own army and your energy, withdraw from the field into the cave, recuperate, lick your wounds, recalibrate until you're ready for a better time. So it seems like we are really being called to hold our energy inwards, to withdraw, not necessarily not participate in the world, but just where we are expressing ourselves, this expression of the ideas through the jaws and the cheeks, is just to contain it, to withdraw and hold ourselves inwards. And that's what we're being asked to pay attention to this week. That's what we're being asked to grow up this week, is knowing when it's time to retreat from something, to leave something, to let it go. Okay, might come back to it later, but recognizing where things are just not right for you right now, and continuing to persevere down a particular path of action can actually undo you, all right? Can mitigate the gains that you have made. So an interesting week. Watch the speech, okay? Right speech, right thought, right action. And let's just contain the creation process and keep the story inside. Go into the cave, work on it until you are ready. The end. Share what it is that you are up to. Thank you so much. Looking forward to connecting with you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for our daily stories. And if you've not yet done so, please go along and enter the monthly giveaway so that you can enter your question, and we do a draw, and then I do a video answering your question for you. So if you've got something you want to ask the I Ching, or you want to experience how the I Ching works for you, please go along and do that. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Take care.